So my journey so far, I bought a loom, I cleaned it, I bought some replacement parts, I fitted them, I wound a warp, tied it onto the back beam, then threaded the headalls and tied the warp onto the front apron rod. Then I corrected some errors and wove a header, and we're finally ready for weaving. So I'm going to start with some tabby weave. Okay, that is not undoing. Have I got it in the wrong way around? Don't know. We'll find out. 1 and 3. How hard are you supposed to be? 2 and 4. 2 and 4. One and 3. Could probably make it tighter. This is definitely like the quickest thing I've done in my weaving journey so far. I will show you what it looks like. So it's looking quite nice. Okay, it's a beautiful morning this morning, nice and bright, so I don't have to put the light on like I've been doing earlier in the videos because it's just been so dull and horrible. So this is how far I've gone. I did get a bit overexcited and went a bit crazy and wove a bit more off camera to just try things out really. So this is the twill, sorry, not the twill, the tabby that I wove, and I wove using this lovely variegated thread that I think I got from a charity shop, and then I had to go at 2-2 twill, which I really like, and I think I've worked out how to get the edges a bit neater, but it's missing the selvage, and I'm not sure why. On Janet Dawson's video, she does say doing a 1-3 twill that it's only going to catch the selvage every 4th one. So I don't know, on a 2-2 twill maybe it doesn't catch the edges at all, and maybe you have to use a floating selvage for it, but I don't know. But I love how it looks. I love how clear the lines come out, and I actually really like this warp thread, warp yarn. It feels really hairy, and I was worried it would be really itchy. But then when you combine it to something else, I mean, I wouldn't wear it next to my skin, but it feels really kind of linen-y, which is, I love linen, really love linen. So it is flax and wool, but it's beautiful. So I'm going to wind on a bit, and I'm going to have a go with a mustard coloured yarn, which I'm hoping I can then use the fabric to do something else. So wind on a bit. Okay, maybe a tiny bit more tension. Okay, good, that feels pretty nice. So I might do a couple of rows of tabby just to try and engage that selvage so it doesn't completely drop off. But I'm going to pause the video and wind a bobbin, Well, I spoke too soon. The sun has now gone in. But never mind. Right, so we're on 2 and 3, so let's do 3 and 4. I don't really know how you tie threads together yet, so, or how you join a new one. So I'm just going to ignore it, leave it hanging, and we'll see what happens, because obviously my edges are not neat enough to leave them as is. This thread is much thinner, so I don't know what it's going to look like, but we will find out. I think I'm going to have to do an awful lot more weaving to see much going on, and actually it's probably not a great one for you to see, so definitely one I will fast forward until there's a bit more, you know, for you guys to see. Oh, sun's come out again. So I jumped ahead a bit. Here is a close-up of what I wove. You can see the twill in the mustard, and then I did eventually get back to doing the tabby. I wove that in this lovely sort of bobbly yarn. And then I decided to do a completely different colour, which is here. I started off weaving a bit of tabby, and it makes this really cool kind of texture because it's really textured yarn. Then I wove some twill in one direction, then back again, then in the first direction again. And it makes these sort of odd ovals. I mean, I didn't measure it exactly how many lines I was doing, but I quite like how it came out. Then back to the tabby again. Anyway, after that, I had a bit of a problem. The tension went kind of on the middle of the warp, and I had a chat with a friend of mine who said I could either put some pencils or something in that area at the back of the warp, or I could just cut it off and tie it on again and start a new piece. And that's what I decided to do. So this is the new piece. I decided I wanted to make a piece of cloth that I could then use in another project and to test out some variegated yarns. So I just wove a whole length of this different yarn, variegated yarn, just to see what it would look like, really. I'll show you a bit more of this piece at the end. I also decided to try doing a kind of chevron twill, using more of the linen or the flax and wool thread. And I tried the same with another variegated thread. And here's a bit of a close-up of it. So now both cloths are off the loom. Here is a view of the first fabric. You can see the different threads that I've used, different yarns, and I did have a go at hem stitch to finish the ends. Here's a bit of a close-up zooming in so you can see a little bit more of the texture. I definitely like this yellow yarn and I like the texture it makes. I'm definitely going to have a go at that again, maybe make a journal cover with it. And here's a close-up of some of the rest of that piece of cloth. And here is the second piece of cloth that I created. I think this one is a bit neater. There are definitely some errors in it, but it's a bit of cloth. Woohoo!